of dealing with mental health, I think the first thing is to recognise that you've got mental health, right? And whether that we have good and bad mental health, okay? We're not robots, you know. So the first thing is recognition, is self-recognition, whether you need help or not, okay? If you need help, send me a DM. We could get a life coaching platform set for you, whether that be fitness, whether that be mindset, whether that be just general one-to-one talking therapy. Contact me. Yeah, man. Yeah, find my Instagram on on the details as well. On the show information. Yeah. So R and the Lion. I have a thing called Lion Mode. And the reason why I call it Lion Mode is because I believe that we're all, in my theory, we've all got the ability. Okay, we move like lions, we operate like lions, we're protective, we're warriors, we're strong. But at the same time, we're vulnerable. Yeah, a lion is very vulnerable in the jungle. He's not always the biggest animal in the jungle. Yeah, I'm telling you straight.
Jungle Book will show you that.
So I have this platform called Lion Mode, and I look at life, I look at training, I look at nutrition, I look at mindset. Okay, so if you ever find yourself in that situation, just contact me, man, and we'll take it from there.
Yeah, man, holla at him, man.
Right.
Ray, what you were saying about, when it comes to men and being single dads and fighting for your kids, I rate you because so many, it's really tough for men. I think men get so much judgment when they're not around for the child, or they want to be around but they can't.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of injustices in the legal system. There's a lot, and
that's what I found. Like when my son was taken to Egypt, I found myself in a situation. It was like, what resources do I actually have?
None.
Like, who can I turn to? And when I turned to mediation and I turned to the courts, they were pinning it on me like I was the bad person. Like, hang on a second, I didn't ask for this situation.
And then again, that's going to take a toll on your mental health.
And that took a toll on my mental health at that time. Because remember I said, mental health doesn't fade away. We all have mental health. It just, I look at mental health on one line. There's good and there's bad, yeah? And sometimes it's important to keep yourself in the middle, but sometimes you just be far over there. Okay, good mental health. That's someone happy, jumping up and down and enjoying life, whatever, but they might be there. You know what I mean? But would you agree with that?
I would, yeah. Because if you're too, extreme, because I
too far left.
If I've always high adrenaline, and I'm so addicted to that, thinking that was my personality. But it's not the natural state. We have to find balance, because otherwise we're going to be too down. So you can't be from,
but at the same time, if we're too up, then society's going to look at us like, what's wrong with that person? What's going on? He's jumping up and down, he's smiling all the time. He's not supposed to be smiling. How many red balls have you had? You know what I mean? And that's the thing. It's like, either you're down there where you're kind of, you're in a state where, you're dealing with, whatever diagnosis they may give you, or you're up here where you're walking around smiling. That person's not in a great frame of mind because he's smiling all the time. That shouldn't be happening.
Are you in love? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know what I mean?
I used to get that a lot, but I'm in love with life, and I realised.
Oh, you must have met a man.
No.
Because you're so happy sort of thing.
That's a different subject.
Love's never made me laugh like that, man. Seriously, jeez, I got a kid I got a son in Egypt, 2 in Bristol, man. More than 3 different houses. Never made.
Oh my God, dating in 2023, that's different. That's
wow.
A whole different podcast.
They should have taught a course on that as well.
That's 4 or 5 people. I'm afraid, you're just one of many. Sorry, that sounds quite harsh, but that's the reality.
That's a whole different subject.
That's a whole different subject for another time.
I'm really interested to know, because obviously, what you do when you're feeling in that place, or your anxiety is starting to build, or what do you do now?
Do you know what?
Now,
that's what we wanted. That's what we wanted, to be honest. Yeah. I would say for me then, I've always done, so I wouldn't say now, something to do with music. So before I was making music, then in a sense, I'll just play music. You know what I'm saying? But then going back to the whole gym side of it, I've always been into my gym thing too. So both of them, to be honest, like gym's a definite major factor in it, because I could be pissed off, proper, but you see me, I'll still make it to the gym. Do you understand? I wouldn't be so pissed off that I ain't going gym, I ain't going. What do you mean I ain't going? I'm going to the gym. Because that's really going to help me.
Of course it is.
You know
And
what I'm saying?
when you step into that gym environment,
I forget everything.
Even if you do 10 press-ups at home,
Yeah, it
do 10
takes your mind to
the gym.
off of it.
Don't do 10
Or go
press-ups
to
at
the
home.
park, or to the park,
Right.
and do some pull-ups.
Exactly.
If I got the money to go gym, that's what I could do. Go do.
Sit
I'll
there.
go to the park and do
Sit
some
there.
pull-ups and all that. So
Sit
there's
there.
always a way to kind
Because
of.
you're releasing that chemical, that hormone
You know what I
endorphin. You know what I mean? And that's what's getting released.
So what about the self-medication?
Nah, do you know what? I'm a lightweight drinker, and I cut down smoking weed as well. So, nah, I wouldn't really say.
Because there's a lot of, I mean, men and women, but a lot of people do use cannabis, right? To help. It's a self-medication.
I've always smoked it, so I couldn't say that I use it for that.
Right.
Because I'm just so used to it now.
Used to it.
Yeah, so I couldn't say, yeah, it's for that. If anything, when I'm more pissed off, I smoke less, to be honest, because I know it's gonna make me even more pissed off. I'm gonna be so high,
Right.
like I don't want to be like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that pisses me off.
So what about you then?
For helping with my anxiety, I kind of get into my creativity on the computer. I make vlogs and do graphics or design a t-shirt or something like that. But what happens, I've noticed this a few times, I get a passion to just do bare creativity. I'll be on it 3-4 days, 3 a.m. in the morning, just get me up late on it, right? And then something might happen and it will take me off of that. And it's like, I haven't got the same ambition to jump back into the work again the next day, and sometimes it can get that bad where I'm just not on it for like 3 or 4 days now.
I get that too, to be honest.
Yeah, and I get in my feelings, but I've learned to embrace that energy.
www.mendable.app.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I said that you guys should come into the room.
Okay.
And I was gonna say, because you was gonna touch on it earlier on about the app.
Yeah.
So this great app that I've been hearing about.
So I'll just give you a real brief. So as I shared with you earlier, during the pandemic started a movement called Mendable, and we have our clubhouse rooms on Monday and Thursday every week without fail, 8 p.m. from the UK. And you can listen on your phone, just download Clubhouse, it's all on www.mendable.app. That community's grown to 30,000 members already.
That's big numbers.
And it's been running for nearly 3 years now.
Okay.
But I also am developing an app for Mendable as well. So when you talk about, and I don't want to go into like too much of the scientific stuff, but it's to do with the vagus nerve. When we're feeling like anxious, it's to do with our vagus nerve. And if we activate that, we can actually decrease our anxiety. Obviously, if it's a health condition around it, then you see a doctor, right? But this app is going to allow you to see where your current state is by using the camera on the phone. I won't give away too much, but you'll be able to see where your current state is, and then it will give you tools and techniques to help you to calm them. But you can also go out into the real world and see the difference yourself by using the before and after. So it's like real-time evaluation, because we don't have that, right? And being a mental health nurse and working in services, if you want to have help and support in your mental health, that's all great and it's really good, and I would encourage it. But when you turn up to the doctor and then you don't get to see anyone for another 2 months, what do we do in the meantime? We suffer, right? So ultimately, this is about us learning about ourselves, because realistically, even if it's with gym work or whatever, you know, learning about yourself, evaluating yourself, reflecting on yourself is going to be where progress really happens, because we have to look after ourselves, right? And we have to look after our loved ones and whatever else, but we have to look after ourselves to be able to do that.
And this is the thing about like men's mental health as well, is that we forget to look after ourselves, right? Because really, the role, the man's role in society is to kind of be the father, the boyfriend, the husband,
everything.
You know what I mean, the provider. So you put in all of that, it's as the priority, and you're forgetting about yourself.
But also, if you're not being that as the priority, you're often suffering because you know you're supposed to be, or you feel you should.
That's the flip side.
You're beating yourself up.
The flip side,
of course.
And that's probably because you want to live up to that role, but you can't.
100%.
You see what I'm saying? Like sometimes we want to, like, if say for instance you've got a situation with your child, and you can't see your child, or the kid's mum is stopping you from seeing your child, so he's creating all type of madness, what's going on. And you want to be able to do that, but you can't do that. So you pull back and then you bury yourself in a hole, and you get depressed. Depression kicks in, you know what I mean? And you might revert to something, you might revert to drink, you might revert to drugs, whatever it may be. But that's how that happens, you know?
Enough man don't talk, because
enough man don't talk.
Know the child's mother, by this now you can see the kid.
Of course.
So So man, you want to open up their mouth. You get me? That's why like.
But people are
you were
also
saying to
people are not able to see
It gets
different
peaked.
perspectives of this either. Do you know what I mean? And that's often a problem as well, because a lot of the men don't understand them and the pressures that are on them, regardless of their decisions. Like there's still a lot going on.
And also as a black man as well, like you don't think, we don't have faith that society's on our side.
No.
Yeah? We don't have confidence that the support is out there for us. So what happens then is we bury ourselves. You see what I'm saying?
Even further.
Yeah, even further. Yeah, because we're thinking, right, we can't even go, you know, mediation, or we can't even go to court. We don't even want to apply. Because if we want, because what we're thinking is that we're going to be put on the limelight, and the focus is going to be put in you. Everything that's going to be, whatever ish they can find, is going to be pinpointed on you.
But there are things out there now, there is support out there now,
Yeah.
and it's about, like I said, it's about us empowering ourselves and going out and finding
Right.
what works for
Raising
us.
awareness.
Yeah,
and
100%.
That's why I said a lot of it is self-inflicted, because a lot of people are like, oh, I can't get a job because I'm a white man. Like, bro, I don't business about that. I create my own business.
Trust me.
So I know that we're men and we're not meant to do this or that. But like me and my mom, we was always close. We would always be able to have certain conversations. So that's how I can come on this podcast and express myself so freely. I understand others can't do it, but I'm not gonna fall in that sheep thing where, oh, I'm a man, I can't do this. I get it, but there's a majority of us men ain't doing it. But at the same time, the ones who's able to like, you know what, I got the powers. I came out of that. I didn't need a white man to give me a job. I didn't need like Ray said, he went out there and he got the help that was needed, and I seen the help that he got by his words now, and that helped me. You get what I'm trying to say? So just
that's
like
what
once I
I'm
was
supposed
doing
to
something here, it's work now. Still
Awareness.
And you're not just doing, but saying something.
You know, and that's the thing. What we need to be doing as well is like this. We need to be networking. Remember, Bristol ain't that big.
No.
So why are people strangers in such a small city? You see what I'm saying?
That's it.
You know, and I think that's always been my biggest issue. Like I've always reached out to my people in Manchester and people in London. Yeah, like from day one, because I never felt that Bristol I could even reach out, because sometimes we go on like we're strangers. You know what I mean? Sometimes we go on like we don't even know each other.
Right,
And you know what?
it could be clicky.
And
I'm
sometimes
not
it'll be
gonna
clicky,
lie.
sometimes
Yeah,
it'll be clicky, and really
Yeah.
we're such a small net community that the majority of us, black and Asian people, we grew up in one area, literally, and if we and that, when I say one area, I'm focusing on St. Paul's, I'm focusing on Eastern because it's one area. They're not that big to be different. You know what I'm saying? They're not that big to be segregated. You understand? So therefore, it's, you know, we should be more unified,
Of course.
than what we actually are today. And if we was more unified, then we'll be able to help each other out as brothers, sisters, and family.
That's why, and as
Real
I said
talk.
earlier, that's why things like this is crackingly good. Because we touched on it earlier on again, and I said, Ashita, we're all from different walks of life. Every single one of us, really. Even though we know each other, but we're all from different walks of life. But we're here to discuss
I had
mental
no
health on the
idea
whole.
that was what you were passionate about. I had no idea until
Exactly.
and we saw each other
Exactly.
in a totally different
Exactly.
scenario. Totally different scenario. It was a music thing, and I just happened to be there because of my daughter. But I'm, you know, until the next day when you'd obviously had a little bit of a look and seen what I did, you were just as shocked.
Wow,
at
I was like,
doing.
what? I said, I definitely have to holler her. Mental health, business, like,
Yeah. And this is just a question. This is not my opinion on anything, but do you think that there's an element of like young minds? It's hard to get. I mean, obviously we're all older now. We're still young in our mind, but we're all older now. So our kind of sense of real life and things like we
kicking
have.
in.
Yeah, we
Of course.
Do people naturally go through that stage? And it would be quite difficult to throw life stuff at someone at school?
Nah, because I'm saying, like I said earlier, if I knew about emotions the way I got taught it as a big 30-year-old, things would have been different. Because I would have recognized quicker, oh, it's just an emotion. I'm just angry because it's an emotion.
Right.
I'm not really angry.
Yeah.
But that's what you believe, that's what I believe.
Yeah.
When I was angry growing up, I didn't know it was an emotion. If I knew, like I just said, I would have known to just deal with it. It's gonna
The
pass,
thing is, it's
innit?
like, it's not even like
You know
you're
what I'm
going
saying?
into the school.
Trust me.
Like, you're not going into the school and the education settings and being like, rah, you know, this might happen to you and that might happen, putting fear into them. What you're doing is you're building up confidence to be able to understand certain situations at a basic level. We don't even talk on a basic level how to understand emotions or how to understand like what happens in this. It's not part of the curriculum.
Because one of the things that we do in our group for our men's space is part of the reason why people share their testimony, people pour into them, it's a community style thing. And the reason is because it's not just about letting things off, it's about knowing how to respond to another man as a man. So we we make sure the men respond first, yeah? How would you respond if your friend's coming to you and saying, I'm going through this, he's emotional, do you know how to respond? Do you feel you know?
Personally, I do, because like I said, I've done the courses.
Did you know before your courses? Right.
No, how?
Right.
Brethren, you better go and talk to your mum. That's what I'll be saying to him.
Because that's,
Hold on a minute, what am I going to say?
I guess what I'm highlighting is...
Who am I going to refer him to higher than his mum?
But this is the thing that I'm saying, is highlighting why people shut down and why they then feel like, who am I going to go to? Your brother can come to me and talk to me about anything, but he knows what I do.
Females.
He knows how I am.
Yeah.
Right, and that's okay. But it's also important to be able to go to men as well.
The men can probably help the men more than the women does.
More, yeah.
But we failed to...
No, it's just different, isn't it? It's just like you go to a female.
Yeah.
I feel like the thing is as well though, with men, it's due to, like how you said earlier, when you're young, certain things get drummed into you. You know from early you're not supposed to really, sometimes you might feel like you shouldn't even feel like a certain way as a man, let alone speak about it. So if you speak about it, and it's not that we might have close friends, and my brother and I know I could talk to him. If I really wanted to, I know I could talk to my brother, man. And he knows he could talk to me. But do you know what another thing is? Men, I feel like we don't like to apply the pressure that we've got on someone else, because we're dealing with ours or someone else's. So we don't want to, I don't want to stress him out now. I don't want to stress out my dad, I don't want to stress out other people in my life.
We've all got our own stresses.
Yeah, I don't want to add more stress to you.
Like what you were saying as well, it's not even hiding anything, it's my issue.
Yeah, deal with it.
You know about it. So why the Ross are you coming giving me your stress?
So
That's how we get looked.
The person then boils up like a kettle.
Yeah.
Going up,
And then
because
nobody
it's
helps him.
internalising the situation.
But what's he then saying? So you say, are you alright? And he says, yeah, I'm cool. And you go, okay, cool.
Yeah. Well,
Because
man's
you're going to have to
usually
get,
saying,
you
"Nah."
you kind of got off the hook.
But I've stopped doing it now. Like, usually a man will be like, yeah, I hear that, or whatever, but I've stopped doing it ones. Like, I've got friends who I can speak to on the level, but I've noticed with me, when I'm really down and I go on social media and I see other people that's going through things, I can actually help them more than, you know what I mean? Like, there's certain in me, with helping others, like, I can give them that advice, and I feel like, when I'm talking to them, I'm also talking to myself. You know what I mean? Because I've got old music that I've made, and I listened to it and then I was like, you know what? You was talking to yourself back then for you right now. I didn't make music no more, but the bars that I said at the time,
You know what, Sophia, yeah?
you know what I mean? Like, it's different coping making.
I've got to answer for your question again. You said, can I deal with it if somebody came to me for help or whatever, yeah? Before, years ago, and this is going back in prison again, yeah? But they got this thing called listeners. You heard of that before? It's like, see Samaritans out here? I was basically a Samaritan in there. So when people are coming, yo, I feel like killing myself, or I feel like I'm going off the rails or whatever, I was literally one of them people, you got to do a course as well, that day, press the bell and say, I want to chat to him.
Okay.
So I kind of knew from then how to deal with people's, I wouldn't say emotions then, because I didn't know about the emotion thing, but feelings then.
So,
You know what I mean?
so there's a lot of evidence around actually helping others does help you as well. This is what I'm saying. Come to the medical room, come and have a look, come and have a listen even, and just see. Because it basically touches on all those things, and actually those are the key components in keeping well yourself. Part of it is helping others.
Have you ever told anyone that?
What?
That he was a listener?
Nah.
See, this is the thing for me.
I didn't remember it.
Even being on this
Right, this right now.
I'm
talking 99. This is 99.
See, that's mad. Like, we're doing the podcast together, yeah? Yours like me and his family, we're cousins, but I don't know certain things about yours. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
We both got brethren who we've been around more and kind of know more about both of us. You get me? But from doing the podcast with you, I'm seeing a different side of it. And it's giving me strength, because like I said on the podcast, you
Vice versa.
was one of the first on this strip out here doing things. Like when we talk about certain people in this area, Yo's name's coming up, you get me? So I don't business about that though. Like, I like to see this side of Yo's. You get what I'm trying to say? When man was in the camp, I was like, I'm not even saying free Yo's. I'm gonna have set up so when Yo's come out, we can actually, I'm gonna keep my brand going. So I know say me and Yo's could do something. I got a Facebook post that could pop, says the same thing. When you come out, we're actually gonna do something different. And it's like, look, we're here now, doing this thing, finding out different sides of each other. You never know about my epilepsy and certain things that I've gone through. I never know about a lot of shit that he went through.
Again, it's the opening up, it's the
But
awareness.
I know for a fact, yeah, bro.
Knowing that we
There's
can do
people
it.
in the ends here in Bristol that's gonna see Yo's on this thing. They're gonna hear everything he's saying, and I know for a fact it's gonna make them, because when you see someone like that talk and open up, like, bro, I wasn't listening. Do you know, that's a big thing there. To be there for other people while you're going through your own things and serving your own time, cancer, your kids. And you
The
can
most
open up your
selfish
heart.
moment anyone
Bro,
goes through their life is in the
that's
camp.
real.
You know what I mean? Seriously, bro.
That's
Do you
real.
know what though? At the same time, like I feel because it's getting rid of those preconceived ideas of people as well, isn't it? Right? Because everybody does it. That's just it's human nature. But I'm not gonna lie. I've always seen you and like, I've seen these angry-looking dogs around you and with a stern face, and I'm thinking, and as a the person that I am in the work that I do, I'm thinking, I wonder if he's a bit like trouble, doesn't really talk about his troubles, and do you know what I mean? Like just internally a bit enraged, and obviously knowing your brother, and even though I see the same things and I know him well enough that I'll just be like, what's going on? Do you know what I mean? Whereas I wouldn't with you. But now, again, like you, and
but again, don't just book by the cover again.
No, but it's
you know what I mean?
yeah, it's getting to know people for who they really are.
Really are.
But asking the questions is important too, because now I see it like I think you're hilarious. Like you're not only hilarious, but you've clearly got a very kind soul.
That's the thing, like, for someone to put together the idea, to put the message out so that others can hear it, that listening role that you had in Joe, you still have it now. This is what you're doing.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? This is what you're doing. So,
Yeah.
bro, like,
Respect, man.
Trust me.
and like, who else has done this? You see what I'm saying? Who else has done that? Because the thing is, we're so conformed to a selfish role in society that we just keep doing our thing. We don't really check for the next person, let alone check for a wider audience and for a service delivery.
Bro,
which is
everyone that's
basically
come out
what
of
we
pen, all I've heard is like, yeah, I learned this in pen, or I got bigger in pen, or this man got broke up in pen. Man, that's the first time
What
I've
are you
heard
getting
what
in
you
pen
said.
though? What are you getting it from? It sounds hilarious when I say pen. But you think about some of the young people, in particular young black males, that what are they praised for? They're praised for fighting.
Yeah, for the
They're
violence.
praised for committing murder. They're praised for negative, generally negative things. The smile on your face when you're getting praise right now, I bet that means more to you than any other.
Of course it does.
Like the works
By
that I
far.
see
And this is where we make the
Like,
changes.
by
isn't
far.
it?
changes. Like I've seen GB and I've seen Bear both come home and made changes, both pick their brands back up, got it bigger than Bear people's brands in the city. They've been away from it. They've come back out, they've got to work straight away, they've learned things whilst being in prison. Now one of them's come home and boasted about being in pen. It's like, nah, I learned this, and now man is telling me he was a listener in pen. Like that's big. Like I don't hear people talk about these things. They don't like to get in touch with their emotional side and their feelings.
Can I say as well? I hear you, but a big factor of why you don't hear people say these things is because again, we don't have these discussions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Or if you do, they're not like this. They're going to be behind closed doors, so no one else is going to hear.
Yeah.
The importance is that you're giving people strength now to speak up and change,
So
because
the-
people might not have realised yo is going to be doing it.
That's it.
So the awareness that we're trying to come with, like what my mum was saying, is not shocking, but it is like, oh, okay then, yes, get involved, people. You know what I mean? Sophia's there with her workshop. Remind them of what it's called again, please.
Mendable, www.mendable.app, not .com, .app.
.app, yeah. Sheetan, just remind them of what you do.
Thanks for having me, guys. So I'm a blogger for Sheets Meets. Sheets Meets is on Facebook, and so we just do a lot of community media, and we support members of the community, plus Crystal Love Radio on a Friday morning at 7:30 till 10. Soca vibes, Friday vibes all the way.
Respect for coming through.
Always on point.
Ray, big Ray, let them know.
Yo, fitness coach, life life transformation business. RM the Lion, follow me on Insta or search me up on Facebook, Ray Miller.
I should probably say as well that if you want to find me personally, it's at Sophia May Music on everything.
Capo.
Cool. Follow me at Gabos Media or Kai Oshwood on Facebook. Subscribe to Recaps, Blogs, Reviews, and thanks for watching the content. Please like, share, and subscribe.
You know my name. Bam.